No, not a whole lot going on for the rest of your Thursday, but it is going to be windy through the rest of the afternoon. High temperatures climbing only into the 40s and low 50s. Fire weather concerns will also be elevated to the south and east, so be mindful with any outdoor heat sources. We cool down tonight, partly to mostly clear. Low temperatures dropping into the 20s just about across the board. We'll go through the rest of your very quiet 7-day forecast coming up in a little bit. But until then, Midday in KELOLAND starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, Midday in KELOLAND.
The next wave of officers are set to join local law enforcement agencies. Plus,
the president orders additional strikes on targets linked to Iran. I'm Natalie Brand at the White House with the message the administration is trying to send.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having us in. It's a special day for law enforcement agencies in eastern South Dakota. 18 people just graduated from the South Dakota Law Enforcement Basic Certification course based in Sioux Falls. Most of the officers will work for the Sioux Falls Police Department. Other graduates will work at the Minnehaha, Lincoln, and McCook Sheriff's Offices and the Brandon Valley Police Department. We'll introduce you to one of the officers coming up tonight on KELOLAND News. Due to recent dry conditions and strong winds, Yankton and Roberts counties have announced that burn bans are in effect until announced otherwise. Authorities warn that fires will spread rapidly and could be erratic with our current conditions. Outdoor burning is not recommended. Turning now to a first look at your midday forecast with meteorologist Adam Rutt. And Adam, if wind is as wild as it gets at this point, we're doing okay weather-wise.
Yeah, exactly. This is going to really be the only major thing that we talk about in the short term, and I'm using the term major pretty loosely. Yes, it is going to be windy. Yes, fire weather concerns are going to be elevated. We take that seriously, but it could always be worse. Just always remember that. Outside we go to Falls Park. We'll kick things off with a view here in Sioux Falls. A beautiful Thursday afternoon on our hands with a west wind at 16 miles per hour, 51 at the airport, which is pretty close to average for this time of year, just a smidge above that, at least here in Sioux Falls. Meanwhile, further to the north, we'll head on over to Mobridge, where they have cloud cover and it is noticeably cooler. Also, notice what's trying to make itself known? Couple of flurries up that way. There's always an outlier. 37, a north wind at 18 miles per hour. It's 35 in Faith as well as in Buffalo on the backside of a little frontal boundary moving on through. 50 Mitchell, 47 Chamberlain and Huron, 45 over toward Phillip and Rapid City, 41 in Spearfish, 44 at the Capitol, and in Sisseton, 45 as you head into Aberdeen. And we are going to continue to stay pretty quiet as we go through the rest of your day beyond those little flurries. I'll take a bonus view out in Watertown. They're at 43 with some blue skies trying to take hold. You notice, though, up to the north, there have been a few little things trying to make their presence known. We saw that on our Mobridge camera as a few flurries have been crashing the party up that way. But the bulk of any kind of moisture to speak of is in one of two locations. One, northeastern Canada. They're dealing with some snow up toward Montreal. And then down to the south, it's rain along the Red River from Oklahoma City to Dallas and down towards San Antonio as well. We are really going to struggle to find any moisture to come our way, rain, snow, or otherwise, over the next 7 to even 10 days. But we will find a few things to talk about. We'll go through that coming up in your extended forecast.
Thank you, Adam. Around 50 veterans gathered alongside hundreds of students today at Sonia Sotomayor for their annual Veterans Day celebration. This morning's student-led celebration included musical performances and a history lesson on Veterans Day. We'll hear from students and vets, plus we'll let you know what makes this year's celebration unique this evening on KELOLAND News. With Veterans Day just around the corner and frigid weather not far behind, Shields in Sioux Falls is hosting its Veterans Winter Coat Drive. Shields is currently collecting heavy coats for all sizes of men, women, and children for the Disabled American Veterans Organization. They're also accepting donations of winter hats, gloves, and scarves, and hope this week-long drive ends on a high note.
Last year, we were blown away by the number of coats that were donated. We were emptying the bin every day. Things are moving a little bit slower this year, so if you have a coat out there that you don't need anymore, we would love to see it for those veterans.
If you'd like to donate, you can drop off new or gently used winter coats and gear now through Sunday inside both entrances at Shields in Sioux Falls. President Biden ordered more airstrikes on targets in Syria in retaliation for attacks on U.S. forces in Syria and Iraq, carrying out anti-terrorism activities. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
The U.S. carried out airstrikes in eastern Syria on what the Pentagon says was a weapons storage facility used by Iran's Revolutionary Guard.
Mr. President, why did you strike Iran's Revolutionary Guard?
Because they struck us.
And President Biden, you plan to hit them again?
They struck us.
It's the second strike in less than 2 weeks and a response to ongoing attacks against U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria. There have been more than 40 since October 17th, injuring 46 U.S. service members. 25 suffered traumatic brain injuries.
If they continue to choose to hit our troops, if they continue to launch these rocket and drone attacks, then we'll continue to do what we need to do to protect ourselves.
The Pentagon says it remains concerned about potential escalation. The administration is trying to prevent that while also defending U.S. forces in the region.
We're not looking for conflict with Iran. We've made that very clear, but we'll do what's necessary to protect our personnel, be they military or civilian.
These attacks have been on the rise since the Israel-Hamas war began, with about half happening after the first U.S. airstrike in Syria on October 26th.
We have sent a strong signal, not just to Iran, but to other actors in the region, that we don't want to see this conflict with Hamas widen or deepen. And so far, we haven't seen that happen.
The U.S. has increased its military presence in the Middle East for deterrence, in addition to the nearly 3,500 U.S. service members in Iraq and Syria as part of a coalition to defeat ISIS. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The Pentagon says Iranian-backed rebels in Yemen shot down an American Reaper drone worth about $30 million. Rebels claim the drone was in Yemen airspace, but a U.S. defense official says the drone was in airspace over international waters.